Happy Monday, everybody. Donnie Baker here with you, LPR Sound Foundation. Happy to be here. Man, I tell you what, today we are looking at Studio B, which is right on the other side of that wall right there. And we're going to take a quick walk around the studio and share with you some of the gear that's in there, talk about some of the stuff, and tell you why I like it, why I have it, things like that. So, but remember, if you want to dive deeper into any of the equipment that you see on the studio tour month here, let me know, and we can do. There are some videos already out there, but we can do a special. We could do a special thing where we put it together and share with you whatever it is you want. We'll share it with you. So without waiting anymore, hearing me talk, let's jump in straight into looking at Studio B. Okay, here we are in Studio B live room. This would be the view into the control room. And then here's a microphone that we leave up in this room all the time, is this Avantone CV12. It's not exactly what it appears to be. It's been modified a few times. Pretty much the only thing left of the original CV12 is the red casing there. It is a tube mic. It sounds pretty good. It's definitely a C12 type microphone. There's quite a few guitars in this room, guitar amplifiers. This room's great for overdubs, for guitars, for definitely for vocals. We can definitely cut vocals in this room. Really the biggest thing we do in this room is cut vocals. So this room is great for also ADR. There's a monitor in here, so we can do voiceovers and ADR. There are speakers in here. These are the Avantone mix cubes. And so for playback, if we need to. This room's really versatile. We do have the Furman headphone system in this room. So we could break it out and make it, kind of make it what we need it to be. Again, we can do drums in this room, but we don't. There are 16 inputs from this room, but we don't do drums in this room. We have a much better drum room, which we're going to talk about. Okay, so this is Studio B's control room. And if we walk in and we can see there's room treatments on the walls. There are quite a few pieces of outboard gear in here. There's outboard gear in here, which we do utilize when we need to. I do enjoy using some of the outboard gear in the rack when we do mixes. We're going to talk a little bit more about each piece. I just kind of want to show you around the room real quick. This is there are speakers in the rear of this room. We can mix in surround sound in this room. It is set up for 5.1. We're not doing Dolby Atmos. That's a little bit out of our reach for the size of this room and everything. So this is my favorite mix room, though. This is where I mix when I mix. I do enjoy this console. This is an Allen & Heath GS3000. It's the 32 channel model, and it does have the center section, which has a unique feature, which is pretty kind of made this console kind of what it is. It's these valve channels right here. These valve channels will they allow you to run signal through a tube, and there's a pair of Telefunken tubes in there. This console has been modified. This console is set up for we can put all 32 channels out on the console. There's 40 outputs from Pro Tools in this room. Let's talk about that for a sec. We do have an Apollo. There's an 8P in the rack, and I don't know if you can see the lights behind there through this thing. There you go. You see some of the lights back there. There are two 16 Apollo 16s back there. We don't really need to see those because all they do is convert. That's pretty much all their use is. So I put them behind the desk to keep them out of the way. We don't really need to see those. And what that allows us to do is put the DAW out here on the console, so we can actually mix on the console. It's not really my favorite way to do things. What I like to do is use the DAW and stem mix or hybrid mix out onto the console. Basically, I would put drums on 2, I'd put bass on 2, put guitars on 2, put everything here at 0 dB, pan everything, running through the master fader, and I'd mix actually in the box, but we're actually routing everything through the analog. Considered an analog summing mixer, if you will, but that's kind of my favorite way to mix in this room. Anyway, the patch bay is pretty cool. The patch bay labels, patch bay labels are made by Trace Audio. There's the name of them there, and you can go to traceaudio.com and see what they got, see what they offer, see if they offer labels for your patch bay in your studio. There's the headphone distribution system, the Furman, which is pretty cool. There's four outputs and a monitor effect output, which we use for the stereo feed from the system. Outboard wise, we have SSL VHD pre's, SSL 611 EQ, and SSL 611 Dynamics in the 500 series. And basically we have 2 channels of SSL. These I think are from the 4K SSL EQs. Pretty cool. We don't really use those a lot because we have an Apollo in here where a lot of people like to use just the Apollo pre's and effects in the Apollos. Speakers in here, Yamaha NS10s. These actual NS10Ms are from, I'm gonna say 2000. Yamaha NS10s in this room are about 20 years old, 22 years old. Dyne Audio are the mains in this room. These actually sound pretty cool. There's actually a sub under the desk. You kind of can't see it because it's black, but there's a sub there. It's the Atom 8, the Atom S8. In the outboard gear rack, we have an Alesis 3630. We have a Tapco Squeeze, the SQ2. There's a DBX 166. There's a Yamaha SPX 92. And then, of course, there's this thing that you guys may remember. It's a CD recorder. The Alesis ML 9600. We used to record masters to that, believe it or not. So there are some instruments in this room. There's a keyboard controllers. A lot of our clients come here and use this for production. They'll come here, you know, they'll come in and make beats. They'll come and work with their clients and record vocals, create. This room is really, I really do enjoy this room for mixing. This room is my favorite room for mixing because it just sounds good. I'm so familiar with how this room sounds. I'm just really familiar with how things work in this room. It's really simple. There's not really a lot to talk about really of how it's wired. I do enjoy the Apollos. I like the software, the Apollo console. It's really it really does give you a sense or a vibe of working on an actual console. But of course, we do have an actual console in here. But the Apollo console actually gives you that vibe as well. So the way I really enjoy this SPX 90, that's my favorite reverb for snares, sometimes vocals, but mostly drums and snares. Next month, we're going to be sharing with you some Pro Tools tips or DAW tips, which we're going to be able to, I'm going to show you some stuff I do with reverbs. That's pretty unique to how I use reverbs in this room. But other than that, man, this room is pretty cool. I do, like I said earlier, I really enjoy mixing in this room more than I do in Studio A, which we're going to talk about Studio A in next week. And so we'll get to that. Studio A is more of a tracking space for me. Oh, the computer in here. There's the computer. It's the last of the Intel Mac Minis. And this one is maxed out with 64 gigs of RAM, I believe. Anyway, it's still holding up. It's still working this room awesomely. And we do use Pro Tools Ultimate in here. And I don't know what else I can tell you about it. We do have a thing coming up, which we're going to talk about. And if you do see any pieces of equipment in here that you want to know more about or you want to hear it in action, just shoot me an email. Leave a comment down below. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed a little tour of Studio B here. And again, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Awesome. How'd you guys like that little walk around Studio B? Man, that Studio B is like I said in the video, man, Studio B is my favorite mix room. I love mixing in that room. I love working in that room. It feels good, man. It's just comfortable. You know what I mean? So again, I'm gonna stress, if there's anything you saw in there that you want to hear something about, or you want me to highlight a little bit better, let me know. Leave a comment below or shoot me an email. Here's my email, info@learnprorecording.com. Send me an email. Let me know. Just hit me up. I'm here for you. I'm here to answer your questions, man. You got any questions, comments, or concerns about anything you've seen in there, anything you've seen in any of the tours? So last week we did the podcast studio, which is this room, and now we're doing Studio B. Next week is Studio A, our larger studio. It's probably going to take a little bit longer to get through because there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of cool stuff that I like to talk about. I do enjoy Studio A for tracking, not so much for mixing, and maybe I'll explain why I don't really like it for mixing when we're in there, but for now, just know that Studio B is my mix room. So I want to share with you, here's the gear list. This is the whole gear list for the whole tour, everything, including all the microphones. You can download it right there, learnprorecording.com/gear list. Just grab that. Everything is linked to where you can buy it or where you can see more information about it. There's a lot of links in there. So go get that. It's totally free. It's just the list of all the gear here at ES Audio Recording Studios in Los Angeles. Also, I want to invite you, I want to challenge you to build your own studio. So here, I'm giving you for free our $150,000 studio build challenge. Now, this is actually an exercise from one of our courses that we have, and this is the same one that's in the course. So go grab it. It's free. learnprorecording.com/studio build. Go get that. I'll link to it down below as well in the description. But this exercise is really cool. What I do is I basically give you a $150,000 budget and you have to go build a studio. Yes, you got to go figure out all the things that you need for your studio whether it's a home studio, commercial studio, whether you're opening it up for clients or whether it's just for you. You can still see what things cost. See what let's say there's a piece of gear that you really want. Go investigate and see how much it's going to cost you. But you got to stay within that $150,000 budget. That is the challenge. That's definitely a challenge, is to try to keep it within that $150,000. So good luck with that. Again, I'll throw it up here for you. It's learnprorecording.com/studio build. Go get that. Hey, I'm going to keep this really quick and simple this week, and I'm going to get up out of here, but I really wanted to invite you guys to, check out the blog post. Just go to learnprorecording.com. Right at the top, there's a blog post. That gets filled up every Wednesday. Usually every Wednesday I send a blog out, but it's usually just something, it's opinionated. It's my opinion on a piece of gear or how we use a piece of gear, whatever. You guys will see it. It's pretty cool. It's not meant for anything except for you to maybe find something out that you didn't know about a piece of gear or something, whatever. So the blog post is pretty cool. It comes out every Wednesday, usually. Sometimes I skip a week because I'm lazy. Or, no, sometimes I might have to skip a week because we have a busy studio schedule, but yeah, and then I'm lazy too. But there's that. But no, next Monday, don't forget about Thursday, man. Thursday Live. Look, you get the gear list or you get the $150,000 challenge, it's going to put you on my email list. Okay, you got to give me your email to get the stuff for free. Nothing's free. Y'all know that. Come on, man. But give me your email, because what I do is I send you an email usually on Wednesday, to remind you of the Thursday Live. Now, Thursday Live usually happens in the morning here. We're on the West Coast, so of course it's Pacific Standard Time. But we usually do it about 10:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is kind of it's kind of a good time for everybody, because, it's a West Coast or East Coast is 3 hours. So it works out. So we try to keep it where everybody's there. We like you to come on live. We usually hang out for like a half hour, talk about something, to give you something, give you some pointers or something, some Pro Tools tips or DAW tips or whatever. I think last week we talked about accounting and bookkeeping. Super exciting, I know, but it's stuff that we got to do. So, no, it was cool. We had a good time last week, but it's live. So you get to ask me anything. You get to ask questions about anything. We interact. We you know, it's a good time. We usually hang out for a half hour or so. Sometimes longer if the questions get deep. But yeah, come hang out. Thursday, we call it Thursday Live because it's Thursday and it's live. So boom. So yeah, get on the list. You'll get the email about the Thursday Live. Come hang out. Next Monday, we're going to be in Studio A. Then the following Monday, which is the 30th, I'm taking all the microphones and instruments. I'm going to lay them out and we're going to look at them. That should be interesting. That should be really fun. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever taken all my microphones and put them in one place at one time. You know, I see a lot of people have studios, man, they do that and they take pictures. I've never done it. So we're going to do it. It's going to be fun. So we'll see you guys Wednesday on the blog post. We'll see you Thursday live, and we'll see you next week when we talk about Studio A. Go forth. Have a great week. Have a prosperous week, man. Let's do what we love, making our money. That's what I'm talking about. So again, my name is Donnie Baker, and I am out of here. See you next week.